Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm doing the April 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Virgo. Now please keep in mind this is a general reading. It's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars placements, okay? So take a look at your natal chart and see what the corresponding zodiac signs are for those placements, and then see which title resonates with you most in regards to the title of the actual videos, okay? So just to let you know, I'll be using a Celtic cross style spread using the Waite tarot deck and clarifying with the intuitive as always, okay? So let's get into it. Virgo. Just now when I was pre-shuffling the cards, I really kept seeing, like, it was ridiculous, like the Hierophant just wanted to come out in various different ways. I was getting it in the upright and in reverse, okay? And I just felt like, you know, your life is being, just got this sense of being reorganized, reordered, that it's going according to divine timing, right? Like certain events are being orchestrated in relation to a specific pattern, a specific timing. There's an element of divine timing at work, right? That things are happening according to plan. That's what I'm getting. So your life is being kind of reorganized. That was what I was getting from that initially. Take it however you will. We'll see how this can be relevant, if at all, to your reading, but that's just the general energy that I got, that things are being reorganized in a way that's going to make you happier as well overall. There's going to be some things that are challenging that you're going to have to release, which you may be reluctant to do so because you just got very complacent, I feel, with certain aspects of your situation. Maybe because it's just been that way for so long, but I think deep down you know it's for the best, releasing certain things from your life at this time. So I think you're not going, while you may be a little bit resistant to some of the changes, I don't think you're going to actively push against it or sabotage your own growth process, right? I think you're going to go with it. So that's just what I got, in regards to the shuffle. Okay, so I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go into the main spread here and then we'll clarify afterwards. So in regards to your present circumstances, you have the Two of Cups. So this is interesting. This can be very much in relation to do with, obviously, a relationship, but it can also be talking about a partnership, a friendship, right? Someone that's very, very close to you at this time. It could be someone you consider to be a best friend, right? Someone you have a deep connection with either way. And this is your present circumstances, bearing in mind. So I feel like you're kind of using this time that you have at the moment to really reconnect with someone that you felt somewhat distant from, or you feel like you haven't been able to spend so much time with and speak so openly, and maybe on an emotional level, right? So you're really taking the time to strengthen your connection, strengthen your bond with whoever this could be. This could even be your child, right? So in regards to the challenge, what's crossing you this time, you got the Five of Cups, so earth energy, your energy, okay? And also Taurus and Capricorn. So it could be that the challenge here you're overcoming is there may be a financial loss that you're facing, okay? Or it could be that, you know, you've been through a lot, okay? There's been a lot of ups and downs in this connection, or when it comes to your finances especially, and you've both been so stressed and concerned about how to keep yourselves afloat that maybe there is a risk of it affecting your connection, a risk of it coming in between you and this really beautiful bond that you currently have. So it's just being aware that while there may be some physical challenges, there may be it may be financial, it might be circumstantial. I feel like whatever this is, where you feel like you might have to tighten your belt in some way, or you're gonna have to be more mindful about how you spend your time or things of that nature. That doesn't mean it's gonna necessarily affect the connection But as I was saying to you, I feel like there's something you're going to have to release, or there's something that you're going to have to change, because your life is being restructured, okay? So you're going to have to look at that, and it may affect your finances, or it may affect your living situation in some way, okay? So in regards to your recent past, you have the King of Swords in reverse, so air energy. This is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Yeah, I think someone was kind of really putting their foot down, and in the past I feel like someone was like really putting their foot down and trying to move things in a certain direction, where someone else was not really listening, not really paying attention. Maybe someone thought that there wasn't the best course of action, or maybe someone thought that the person was taking themselves too seriously, right? So someone else was just kind of like not taking it as seriously as the other person, but now you find yourself in this situation where you have to look at things a bit more logically, right? Because maybe you weren't doing that in the past, or the person you're dealing with wasn't looking at things from a logical lens. They were just going on their feelings, or the things that they know is going to make them feel good in the moment, but not thinking about the long term, not thinking about the repercussions of certain actions, certain decisions, right? So whoever that is, I feel like they were not taking certain aspects of the situation very seriously, and now there's a situation that's coming up that's making you have to be very discerning about how you manage your life, right? And like I said, things are being restructured in quite a significant way. In regards to your near future, you have the Eight of Wands in reverse, so fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. I feel like, yeah, you may be holding off on taking action on something. You may be holding off communicating something in regards to a plan of action, right? That's what I'm getting, because there's so much planning here that I feel with this reading, like planning, or problem solving, that sort of thing, right? And I feel like you're holding off on communicating something right now because you're trying to find the best way to approach it, or try and find the right way to communicate your thoughts or feelings, because last time you tried to communicate what you think needs to happen, you kind of got shut down in some way, or someone didn't take you so seriously, or it could be vice versa. It could be the person feels that way, and they're holding off communicating something that's actually quite important at this time, because they're trying to find the right way to communicate that so it doesn't just blow up in their face. Oh, that could be you. In regards to your feelings, you have the High Priestess here. So this is pretty much your energy. I also associate this with the water signs too. I feel like, yeah, you are kind of stepping into this space, this inner knowing. You're having certain realizations, okay? So it could be very well that it's you that's not communicating certain things right now, because you're just stepping into this awareness. You're getting a more accurate sense of what's really going on here, what's really at work, what really needs to be taken seriously, what needs to be done in order to move things forward, in order to not find yourself in a situation where you could be out on the street, or you could be really struggling in some way, right? So you want to avoid that. You're trying to avoid that situation at all costs, particularly now, because a lot of people are quite concerned about their future and the financial impact of everything that's going on in the world right now. So it could be that that's a big concern for you, particularly because you like to have things organized, you like to be stable, you like to be independent. So anything that threatens that is going to be on your mind, Virgo, for sure. So I think you're very much aware of the situation, and you're just trying to gather information and come up with ideas where you can creatively problem solve, right? Using your intuition, using that inner knowing, that wisdom that you've obtained from navigating various different circumstances throughout your life, right? So you're being smart about it, essentially. I think you're trying to come from a very balanced point of view, so that you don't react emotionally and you don't act impulsively. You just, look at it rationally and try and find the best possible solution. And then once you feel like you have something more tangible that you can work with, that's when you're liked. In regards to what's crowning you at this time, so what's within your power to affect, to impact in this situation, you have the Nine of Wands in reverse, some more fire energy, okay? So yeah, it's being aware that it doesn't have to get to the point where, you know, it doesn't have to reach this point of no return. It doesn't have to reach this point where it just becomes a battlefield, right? That's not what you want. And I think that's why you're trying to take precautions now. You could see something coming for some time, because I feel like it was you that kind of got dismissed in regards to whatever obstacle that was coming. And I think that's why you're kind of reluctant to say anything yet. However, you're very much aware, and you're kind of working behind the scenes to think of solutions, right, that you can pitch to this other person. But yeah, because you've learned from experience, and even though it's like saying, okay, you don't have to communicate straight away, but it is essential that you allow opportunity to come in, right? Because there may be something that's coming up that's going to help you move through this situation that you're not aware of yet. So it's important that you keep your eyes peeled for any messages that could be coming in from elsewhere, particularly through synchronicities, through dreams. There might be something someone says that triggers an idea, so just being mindful of those kind of things. But I feel like you will get some assistance, that you don't have to do it alone, essentially. And at some point you are going to have to communicate what it is that's troubling you, okay? Or what it is you're trying to avoid at this time. So in regards to your advice, you have the Six of Cups, okay? So I feel like, yeah, because you're aware of certain challenges, and there are some things within this situation, particularly if it is a romantic situation or a family setup, you may be kind of, you know, so focused on just like, you know, basically taking care of damage control, right? Of whatever these circumstances that you're navigating through as a unit or as a couple. But you're kind of missing out on the fun a little bit, okay? So it may be that in your household, you know, people are kind of playing games, messing around, having a good time, and you're just very serious. Like, you're very much in this kind of energy where you're just no bullshit, just trying to navigate through the minefield and keep everyone afloat, right? But it may be asking you to don't forget that there is lots of love in this situation, that you are loved, that you are cared for, and that maybe this person or these people in your life are trying to show that in their way, and you might be misinterpreting that, you know, because they remember what it was like when things were more lighthearted and used to have such a good time, and they used to be able to joke and have fun with you. But right now they might be thinking you're a little bit too serious because you're very much in your head, and you're just trying to navigate and find the right solution, right? So just be aware of that, and you know, it's good to have a break, okay? As much as it's important to get shit done and stay on top of things, you need time for yourself as well. You need time to just be, you know, and to enjoy, you know, your connection. So just be aware of that. In regards to your external influences, so this can be situations, people, the environment that you're in. You have the Three of Swords. Now, I know a lot of people talk about this as a third-party situation, and it can be, but for the most part, I don't feel like this is the case for you guys, whoever this reading resonates for. I feel like it's just that you are dealing with a lot of pain in the house, right? I feel like you, this person, the people of your household, or a specific person surrounding you or yourself, you know, is carrying a lot of emotional burden, right? That's what I feel like. A lot of weight is on your heart space, right? Because you're still healing, you're still nurturing this healing within your heart space because of a difficult situation that you've navigated through, and whatever you're dealing with now, and you know, maybe even things that go way back that you're still working on during this time of pause, right? That certain things are being brought to the surface for healing so you can get back into this space, right? So there might have been some things that have been brought up to the surface, and that's kind of thrown you off course a little bit, and that's why you're kind of stepping into this energy so you can balance that out, so you can process your emotions, You see how she's between the light and the dark pillars, right? This is you stepping in your truth and your power and balancing the shadow and the light aspects of yourself, right? So this is why, like I said, things are being reorganized, restructured in your life, but I feel like you are also being grounded, you are being balanced down. So there's certain things that are being brought to the surface to help you heal and to ground you, right? So in regards to your hopes, you have the King of Cups, okay? So this is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could be dealing with a water sign, or they could have water strongly in their chart, or this is simply you with a lot of water in your chart, or anyway, the energy. Okay, I feel like you want to be in this space again. You don't want to be in this space, you want to be in this space. This is what you want. You want to feel like emotionally available again, I think, you know, because there is a lot of love in this connection, there's a lot of care in this connection. You know, I think it's, but even if it's a friendship, I feel like there is a lot of love for this person, there's a lot of consideration, right? But you want to get back into this space again where you feel emotionally grounded, but you feel able to give and receive easily, right? And that there's no holding back, there's no challenge when it comes to just being and expressing yourself, right? But being very much in control of your emotions, which you may feel like you're not right now, because of this pain that's being resurfaced. In regards to your fears, you have the Sun in reverse, so Leo energy. You could be dealing with a Leo, or a Leo could be tied to this pain that you're experiencing, right? That you're trying to heal from your heart space. So there may have been a significant Leo in your life that caused you pain, or a water sign, or an air sign, right? Because the air sign, the King of Swords here, he's in the past. Okay, so these could even represent different significant people in your life that have caused you pain, because you see how it's the Three of Swords here, right? And your external influences. So it could be that a Leo caused you pain, a King of Swords caused you pain. Someone, I don't think this is someone who embodies the High Priestess, I feel like that's you, but it could be a King of Cups that have caused you pain, right? Or even the Hermit, we'll get to that when we get there. So Virgo energy, your energy, right? But either way, whoever this person is, I feel like they are connected to this deep-rooted pain that you're healing at this time. Someone that you saw a future with, someone that was very close to you, could be a family member even, could be an ex-partner, an ex-husband, an ex-wife, could be even this person that you're trying to bridge the connection with right now. You may be reconciling right now, but there's so much pain, and that's what's the challenge for you, is because of the pain you've been through, because you felt abandoned, because you felt this person didn't care for you, they wasn't there for you, they didn't take you seriously, they didn't take your offers of love seriously. You found it very difficult, and you're afraid that it's not going to lead to anything good, that you're just going to be hurt again, that you're just going to be abandoned again, that they don't see you as the sun, right? They don't see you as their happiness, their wish fulfillment, their joy, right? They don't see you as like the light of their life, pretty much, right? And then in regards to your potential outcome, like I said, the Hermit in reverse, sorry. I kept going to say Hierophant. I think it's because I kept seeing it come up in your reading. The Hierophant's been very prominent in a lot of these readings, but yeah, it's, you know, the universe is kind of doing a lot of crazy shit right now to all of us, I know. But yeah, it's like, this is the thing, it's like the potential outcome for this is that you may not go off and do the necessary reflection, right? The introspective work that's needed in order to come out of this. I don't think you're going to be coming out of this unscathed as such. You are going through it. You are going through some pain. You are processing it. But depending on how you choose to process this and go about this situation, you know, you may not get the answers that you were seeking. You might not get to the conclusion that you were seeking because you were expecting to hear it elsewhere rather than looking from within. Even though you have everything you need, you have the information that's required to move forward, right? It's already coming to your awareness, but I feel like there is some hesitancy to shine a light, to look into the mirror in regards to a specific aspects when it comes to this situation. It may be because it does confront your demons from the past. It may be because it asks you to go deeper and you don't want to go any deeper than you already are right now. So it's going to apply for you guys in different ways, so just take it however it resonates. And as I said, if you feel like none of this resonates for you, then that's fine. This might not be your reading. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and clarify the cards that we have here for you. Gosh, just saw the King of Cups again flicking up, so yeah, and you just came out. Wow, okay. So there's someone very significant, someone you have a very deep emotional tie to, someone you love very much is what I'm getting. There's someone that you really truly love still. And I think that's why your connection with them weighs heavily on your hearts, right? Because there is a lot of love there. There is a lot of passion for this person, I feel. And I think there's a little bit of fear on your side, which is understandable, especially if you have a long history with this person, if it's a love connection, or if it's someone you were very close to as friends and there was a betrayal and you feel like, you know, it's very difficult to get past, right? So I do understand it. Or even in a family situation, there was some betrayal. It's not so easy to get past that. Or some kind of insincerity, something of that nature. Alright. So let's go ahead. So in regards to your present circumstances, the Two of Cups here, you have the Four of Swords and the Justice cards. So much air energy here. So you could easily be dealing with an air sign also. But either way, I feel like, yeah, the reason why you two have been brought back together, the reason why you are going through this reconciliation process is to help you both heal, right? It's to help you heal the divine feminine and masculine, right? In each of you, actually. Because I feel like both sides of yourself took a big hit, hence, you know, the High Priestess energy coming to the forefront, right? To balance the scales. And that's exactly what's going on here. It's to balance the scales. It's to heal the wounds that have been created from this relationship, from this situation, this connection, right? In regards to your challenge, the Five of Pentacles here, you have the Nine of Cups, the Temperance cards, the Sagittarius energy, and the Strength card again, Leo energy. So you can very well be dealing with a Leo or a Sag, okay? But either way, I feel like, yeah, it's going to be really difficult for you to get past this feeling of rejection, betrayal, being abandoned, or feeling like you were not there when I needed you most. When I was standing up and speaking my truth, when I was trying to communicate something important, when I was trying to keep us afloat, when I was trying to prevent shit hitting the fan, where were you? You were not there when it mattered most. You were not there. You know, that's what I'm getting from this. And you're finding it really hard to get past that, right? Even though you want this to get back on track more than anything, like it is your wish fulfillment. It means so much to you to get things back on track because you feel like this person is what you want, right? For the long term, right? Or this connection, or this you want this person in your life regardless because they mean that much to you. And you know it's a process. The healing doesn't happen within a day, right? It's a process. It's going to take time, you know, because you're alchemizing the pain. You're still going through the process. So you know that you have to be patient. I think you also know, or if you don't know, you're being told now by me. That this process is divinely guided. As I said, it's all about divine timing, and you are being supported through this process through your you know, spirit guides, through archangels, you know, whoever you have a connection with on a more divine level, right? You're being supported. And, you know, it's going to take time and it's going to take courage on your part, because you're going to have to, as I said to you in the beginning, something has to be released. So I feel like in this instance, it's not necessarily the connection, but you have to release the pain, essentially. You have to release the pain. You have to be willing to release the past, release yourself and this person from the past, right, in order to move forward. So in regards to the recent past, the King of Swords here in reverse, you have the Nine of Swords in reverse, the Devil card, so it could be a Capricorn, and the Page of Wands. So yeah, I feel like you're having to take a new approach in this, because you felt like you got cut down. It really surfaced some really negative feelings within yourself that had been suppressed for some time. Things that made you feel unworthy, things that made you feel not confident, that made you question whether you're doing the right thing, you know, made you uncertain about yourself. I don't feel like it was necessarily something that made you stressed and anxious, although there's probably going to be stress in the situation. I think it's something that shook your foundations, right? That brought some things from the past to the surface. So you had to take a new approach in order to deal with this energy, to deal with the toxicity that came out of this situation, okay? You had to find a new way of communicating, a new way of handling this situation, of dealing with your emotions, dealing with your fears, because previous attempts have not been successful, right? So if you went down the same route and reacted in the same way, you'd get the same result. So you had to take a new approach on how to deal with this toxic situation, with this negative aspect of the connection, right? Where you felt that when it really came to it, that person wasn't there for you, or that person let you down, or that person didn't live up to their word, right? That's what I'm getting. False promises, empty promises, that kind of thing. Okay. In regards to your near future, the Eight of Wands in reverse here, you have the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so yeah, I think there's a reason why this communication isn't coming in, as I said, because you felt like, you know, you're kind of sick of it being all one-sided. You're kind of sick of you being the one to try and like balance things out, to try and make sense of things, to try and get things more moving. You the one putting all the work in, essentially, and the other person kind of just sitting back and waiting for you to fix the situation, waiting to see what you will do, what your next move will be. You're not prepared to do that anymore. So while I feel like this person does want to reconcile and fix what went wrong, unless they're willing to get off their ass and actually invest something into trying to make it better in some way, try and fix the situation, you're not going to communicate shit, is what I'm seeing here. You're waiting for their move this time, because things have been just so out of whack, right? And you're not doing it anymore, so you're like, no, we'll see what you're bringing to the table. Until then, I'm not budging an inch. Like, that's what I'm getting from that. You're just sitting there and waiting, but you already feel like you have your answers. You feel like you already know what you need to do, but you need to see what this person is going to do, right? So clarifying the High Priestess here in your feelings. As I said, you're already aware, you already have your answers, but you just want to see how this situation will play out and how this person will act. Clarifying that, you have the King of Cups again, and you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So you've got the King and Queen of Swords in reverse. So yeah, this is definitely like a significant connection. Like it's a very much like a soul level connection. The meeting of minds, mirroring going on in various aspects. You know, they'll pull back, you'd pull back. You know, because they weren't doing anything, you're not doing anything now. Maybe they weren't communicating clearly and truthfully, so now you're not saying anything until you see something significant from their side. So much mirroring going on. And you're like, okay, I know who you really are. I know what you have to bring to the table, but you're not doing it yet, right? You're just kind of sitting in this energy and waiting for someone else to take action. You're waiting for me to take action because that's what you're used to, but I'm not prepared to do that, right? You need to show up. You need to bring something significant to the table is what I'm getting, right? So that's how you're feeling. You're like, no, like I'm not closing my emotions off to you. I'm not closing myself off to this connection, but I am not budging an inch until I get something from you. It's not all coming from me, right? This is what I'm getting. So in regards to your what's crowning you, the 9 of Wands in reverse here, you have the 6 of Cups in reverse, the Judgment card in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, but I feel like this is you actually. I feel like this is you, Virgo. Regardless of the fact that it's a queen, it doesn't matter about gender. It's just more about you and your feminine energy, right? Divine feminine energy in regards to this. So you're being asked to invest in yourself, particularly in your divine feminine, the nurturing aspect of yourself, the mother figure type, and really nurturing the inner child within yourself at this time, because I feel like that's what's going to help you to heal. You know, again, coming back into that space of joy, happiness, laughter, you know, the little things, taking pleasure in the little things, you know, like that childlike joy, right? And that will really help with the nurturing and healing of the divine feminine and your inner child, right? So that work's going to be very, very important to you. And as I said, you know, it's the situation hasn't played out yet. It's not over. So whatever you're feeling right now, whatever you feel like you're navigating and however difficult it feels right now, it's not over. You know, that's why it's feeling tough. That's why you're kind of not where you want to be yet, because you're not done. You're still going through the process, but you need to be aware that you are being supported through it, right? So yeah. And then, you know, until you get to that place where it can express, where your inner child can express itself, right? And that you're not in this, like, not even cold energy, but like, you know, you're being kind of standoffish and a little bit closed emotionally. But once you're able to come out of that fully, break out of that, and just be yourself and enjoy, like I said, the little things, and, you know, really get back into that blissful state that you used to be in regards to this connection or those other connections that are close to your heart, that's when you're going to see the true outcome of the situation, right? So in regards to the advice, as I said, the 6 of Cups here, which is exactly what we were just talking about. You have the 2 of Wands, and you also have the 2 of Swords. Interesting. Okay. So, by the way, I've just got 666. So that number can be very important to you. I know people get freaked out when they hear that number. They think, it's the devil number, but it's not that at all, okay? It's just something that got misconstrued over many years ago. But actually, it's a very, very powerful number. It's the number of really drawing. It's like the number of drawing from your manifestations, right? It's like taking knowledge from the ethereal and bringing it into the physical plane, right? So then you can work with it and then manifest from that space, okay? So it's like the interim. It's like taking knowledge from the ether and bringing it back to you know, the material realm. Is kind of that sort of energy for me. But anyway, I feel like, you know, if anything comes up with 666 in it, it could be relevant to you. So look out for those messages, okay? Also, 6 can be tied into the 9, and that can be very much, like I said, dealing with dark night of the soul kind of energy to do with spiritual ascension. So this could be part of that journey that you're on, where you are having to go through certain trials, you are going through certain experiences, certain pain that's being resurfaced to help you heal so you can continue on your transformative journey, right? So I feel like it's also tied into the dark night of the soul kind of energy that's still playing out for you a little bit, Virgo. But anyway, getting back to this, I feel like when you get back into that blissful state, when you really start to enjoy the good things, the things that reminded you of the good things from the past, you know, the little things that make you so happy, that make you feel alive, that make you feel emotionally fulfilled, emotionally abundant, that's when you'll get back into your power again. That's when you start to realize that, yeah, I have a future, actually. And that this future may not be exactly as I imagined previously, but actually I can make it something even better. That's what you're going to realize from that. And that the decision lies in your hands. That it's entirely up to you where this goes, right? So that's very powerful, okay? That's realizing that you actually have more power in the situation than you thought you did, okay? So in regards to your external influences, the 3 of Swords here, you have the 4 card in reverse, and you have the Queen of Wands in reverse, okay? So this is, fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Okay, let me just have a look at this again. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, for some of you, you felt like, I think you feel like the betrayal runs so deep that it's difficult to even imagine really showing up and offering yourself in any profound way, or offering any kind of, or showing any passion towards this person on that level because of something that happened, because of the pain that you're healing, because of something that they did or didn't do, right? So it's possible that you were cheated on. Someone might find out or already know that they were cheated on, and this person's been holding back on communicating anything, but you're waiting to see what they're doing. That's why you've pulled your energy back. That's why you've been pulling back, because you're waiting for them to crack, essentially, and just admit their guilt. That's for someone very specific, or a specific for you. I think for others of you, it's a case of, because you're hurting, you're not feeling very passionate, you're not feeling like, you know, being very sensual, or being very, you know, kind of seductive, or, you know, even expressing your passion or your interest in that person in that way, like sexually, or, you know, you're not really feeling impassioned in general towards this connection. And you don't see how you can possibly even start afresh, even if you were to walk away from this connection, if it's a love connection, how you could walk away and try and get yourself out there again, right? Because you're just like, man, this is taking up so much of my energy, like how can I possibly do it? Or even if it's a case of like, you know, a family disagreement and stuff, and, you know, they're trying to force you to get out there, to start dating again, to start mingling. Or if it's a case of, you know, you went through a divorce and you're with your children, and, you know, they're kind of scared of the idea of you meeting someone else. You know, and you can see how much it affected your children, this divorce, this separation. I think you're going to find it very difficult to, you know, put yourself out there again, because you're going to be afraid of how it will impact them. Even though I feel like, Virgo, you are gaining a lot of attention. Certainly from this person, if this is a romantic connection you're dealing with, you certainly have their attention. There's no doubt about it. They see you as this, right? There's the Queen of Wands. They see you as that woman, right? This beautiful, passionate, alluring, you know, like intelligent, witty, like charismatic person. And you could be a guy, and that applies to you as well. They see you as like this incredible guy, right? But yeah, I feel like other people are seeing you in that way also. But regardless of your situation, you're just like, how can I even entertain that right now? Like, seriously, with all this going on, I've got so much going on. Like, that's just not in the forefront of your mind, but that's how you're being seen right now. You're being seen by others as the Queen of Wands, right? As being the one they would want to get intimate with, the one that they would want to approach, that they'd be impassioned for, like they would be passionate about, right? So in regards to your hopes, the King of Cups here, so he came out twice, so whoever you're dealing with is significant. But yeah, you can't even make this up, this is ridiculous. You have the Seven of Swords and the Sun card again, okay? But this time in the upright. This is insanity. Okay. So you could very well be dealing with a Leo or a clear water sign. But either way, I feel like you're hoping that whatever this deception is, you can get past it. Because you want to be happy. Like, you're like, I'm so done dealing with this pain. I'm so done dealing with the emotional baggage, right? Of being left out, of not the person lying, not being there for me when I needed them, the person cheating on me and lying about that even when they already betrayed me. You know, my family holding me back from trying to get my life back on track because, you know, they don't want me to be happy. They're only focused on their happiness or whatever it is, right? But I feel like you're just like, I want to get past this, you know, I want to get to the point where I can be happy again. However that takes shape, that's what I want more than anything, right? And then in regards to your fears, the Sun card in reverse here, you see how they're mirroring. It's like it comes to the same thing. Like, you know, what you want more than anything is to be happy, but you're afraid that you won't be happy because you're not happy right now, essentially, in regards to this situation. But clarifying the Sun in reverse, you have the Three of Cups. So you've had threes come up a couple of times also significantly in your reading. So anyway, Three of Cups, team. Wow, that sounds very, I don't know, New Zealand or Australian, I'm not sure. But anyway, 10 of Wands in reverse. I don't know who I was channeling there, maybe an Aussie or a Kiwi, I don't know. But the 10 of Wands in reverse and the 8 of Cups. Okay, that was interesting. Moving on. So, yeah, you're afraid that someone else is going to ruin your happiness, that someone is going to intervene. And yeah, I think you're terrified that you are still going to be left with someone else. I think especially if this person did cheat on you or just up and vanished or, you know, just didn't turn up or didn't stand by you when you needed them most. I think you're afraid that they're going to abandon you and look for something else. Look for something that they feel is going to make them feel better, that they feel is going to be a good time for them, right? In the most shallow way possible. And then they're just going to go off and basically abandon you and go seeking something else that they think is going to make them feel good, right? And that this isn't going to bring you any closure. This isn't going to bring you any closer to closing the chapter, that you're just going to find yourself in this perpetual loop of being abandoned, right? So it could be that you're having to process this deep-rooted abandonment issue that you have from the past. It could be that a parent or a relative, especially if this is tied into your family, maybe a relative really let you down in a key moment in your life where you needed them most. And you're seeing this play out again, this cycle, and you're trying to find a way to close the chapter for good. For some of you, you're terrified of putting your family, your kids through that because you know what it was like going through it yourself. So you're trying to make sure that this does not happen to them at any cost, regardless of what happens with you and your connection with this person. And for those of you where you're just dealing with this reconciliation, I think you're trying to make sure that they are sincere, and then they're not going to just up and leave when it suits them, when they feel like, oh, this is too much work, or you know, this is a lot to process. You know, I'm just gonna go. Like it's too heavy. It's too much of a burden. I can't be bothered with it. I'd rather just go and enjoy myself. It's that kind of energy. That's what you're afraid of. And then finally, in regards to your potential outcome, the Hermit in reverse here. You have the Seven of Wands. So seven's been prominent as well. Again, very spiritual number. 777. You have the Six of Swords, and you have the Magician. Okay. So you've got the Magician clarifying the Hermit. I mean, this is all about manifestation. This is deep-rooted spiritual work. This is alchemy. This is taking, like I said, you've already got certain aspects in your awareness, okay? You're already aware. You've got, these cards are so prominent and they're so important that you see them, okay? These are your key energies here. This is where you're at, Virgo, and where you're stepping into. I think the reason why you're not going to be doing this work for very long and you're not going to go to certain depths right now is because there's certain things that you need to take action on. So there's certain things that you are going to be going deeper within and you're going to explore and come to understand. So I feel like that's already coming to your awareness. You're understanding a lot of the things that are being dug up from the past and why it's coming up in order to be healed. So you can balance the two aspects of self again. And now, when you're feeling like the moment is right, that's when you're going to start manifesting these significant changes, because you know that the universe is working for you, not against you. You know that you're being divinely guided, that this is divinely timed, and that it's moving towards a much more positive and profound set of circumstances, right? A new cycle will be appearing for you. It's just certain things need to be addressed here and now is what I'm getting, right? But yeah, that's really significant. You know, that's not something small at all. I mean, this is, like I said, it's very much, I feel like, part of your journey through the dark night of the soul. You are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but you're not quite there yet, okay? So this is why it's important that you protect your energy at this time, because you're going to be, your senses are going to be heightened. I feel like with this spiritual awareness that's really strong for you at this time. So you need to be able to protect yourself spiritually and as well protect your energy from people and things of inevitable nature. You know, on the metaphysical side of things is what I mean. Also, you need to be aware that you are navigating these choppy waters to bring you into smoother waters, okay? That it is a part of the process, it's a part of your rite of passage, it's a part of your transition, your transformation, okay? Going from, you know, being in a frequency that's no longer serving you. It's like you know, cancers, when they outgrow their shell, right? You know, I associate the energy with cancer because obviously their symbol is the crab. So it's like when cancer gets to the point they outgrow their shell, okay? So again, it could be you're dealing with a cancer and they're going through the same process because, like I said, they're mirroring you, right? Or you could have cancer in your chart and that's what you're doing. You're cracking open the shell because it no longer fits you. It's keeping you boxed in. It's suffocating you. So you're cracking it open and you're exploring your new sense of self, and you'll be moving into a shell that's actually fitted and suited for you. Okay, so that's where you're moving towards. So, Virgo, I hope that made sense. I know there was a whole lot of stuff going on there, but yeah, that's what was coming in very, very strongly, very profoundly with this. It's like even the energy is like supercharged for this reading. So yeah, I hope this helps to put your mind at ease a little bit if you have been feeling concerned or stressed about this situation. If this helped, do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, or like if you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And yeah, I'll do another reading for you guys very soon. I actually know what readings I wanted to do next, so I'm going to announce that on my Instagram channel. If you haven't followed me already on there, you can check me out on Insta, same name. Okay, so take care of yourself for now, and I will speak to you guys soon. See ya.